different situations and disabilities. What is your answer?
Yeah. He did. He always, one of the quotes that I always heard was like, "It's fly paper for the wounded." So here's the deal. Yeah, a lot of these Wack Packers would have been nothing, and they've gone through their lives with their disabilities and been abused and made fun of their whole entire lives. And by Howard pulling them on the air, it did make them famous. Fred the Elephant Boy, Crackhead Bob, all that shit. It made them, it built them up. But were they making any money from it? No. Was Howard making any money from it? Yes. But it made that, in return for whatever money you might think about, it gave them like cred. You know what I'm saying? Before that, they were just like that idiot from down the block, so to speak. But when Howard made them famous, people were like, "Oh my God, it's Fred the Elephant Boy." So like I said, double-edged sword. Yeah, he made money off of them. Yeah, he was smart enough to find people like that, fly paper for the wounded. It changed their lives because they didn't feel like, abused, and people are not abusing them anymore. They're like, "Oh my God, you're that person." And I use Fred because imagine what Fred had. "Oh, so how you doing, Steve? I was just Fred the Elephant Boy." Fred's a sweetheart, but Fred probably got abused his whole life. When he got famous, he wasn't that the doo-doo from down the block. He was Fred the Elephant Boy, and people were nice to him. So he did something good for them, but yet they didn't profit off it. He did.
Well, there you have it. Everybody's coming in drunken donuts. I really don't care. So hold on. I want to thank Keanu for coming on yesterday. That was fun. We had a very good time. She's very sweet, and she's easy on the eyes. We discussed a lot of different things, and Penny Crone. So sorry, I'm trying to catch a groove here right now. It was not an intro. What's an intro, Ryan? Do you want to? I just came across it because of the next guest that I have coming in the studio, Ryan. But I do appreciate your input. So I had an interesting day yesterday. I was on Porn Stars. Well, I wasn't on Porn Stars. I did background. I had a friend of mine who had some item that was brought on the show. Hold on a second. Do I sound stressed? The guy is making gay rape jokes about me. If he thinks that's funny and entertaining, go right ahead. He's not going to do anything at all to me. I'm not going anywhere. He's not going to be able to do anything from his little shit pen up in Minnesota. He's not going anywhere. So I'm not stressed, drunken donuts, but thank you for looking out. And I'm just really not going to give the guy any fucking fuel because every time he talks about me, he gets more clicks. And I'm not going to talk about him. So that's about it. No stress here, buddy. But I do apologize if I'm coming off stressed, but I don't feel stressed. I feel kind of zen right now. So I understand that, Ryan, but I wanted to play something like that. Yeah. As much as I appreciate that, Bob Sugarbush, another great name. So I doubt he fears me. I can tell you that. And Tommy Jordan, Stuttering John said, if he sees you in Vegas, New York, look the other way. Yeah, why would I want to look at that? Just a couple people jumping in here right away. What are your thoughts on Howard's lawsuit against him? Autobiography. Howard's got a lawsuit against Stuttering John. I didn't know that. So we got a bunch of people coming in. It's just a nice, easy, lazy Wednesday here in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful day outside. And so Willow, we go back to MLC. I think we can work things out with karmics. Oh, Misery Loves Company. You know what? Yeah, sure. I would go back on, but I'm not going to get screamed at, and I'm not going to be insulted, and I'm really not good with the confrontation because I when I lose it, I lose it. I don't want to lose it. I'm trying to like this isn't why I'm on here. Thank you very much, PA Cheddar. Yeah, I might have Steve on by the end of the weekend. He has a new book that he's promoting. So what's this? You know what, guys? I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to give this guy any attention. What's this? Can you make a plausible argument? Intern Gay Rich and Penny Crone carried the Stern Show. Brett Hollywood, thank you. Yeah, no, Gay Rich. I wouldn't say they carried it. Gay Rich made a very fun aspect to the show. He was like well, you had Richard Simmons on, but he would never admit he was gay. And then there was always Siobhan, one of the first people who had a sex operation changeover, who lives in the West Village. I got a letter from Croy, if anybody remembers Croy. I don't know, maybe I'll read it later. If anybody's interested, Croy was a very interesting character that was on the show back in the day. She was like, at one point you could tell she was probably like a beautiful, beautiful, smoking hot lady, but she still she's got to be in her 80s, and she keeps her appearance. But she's out there. She's a very bad conspiracy theorist. She used to live down the block from me. And she always like took care of me. She was always very concerned about me. Now that I'm in Vegas, I'm her pen pal. So, but okay, I'm going to bring on my next guest because if anybody has any problems with speaking, it's me. But I always like to bring on other people who are worse than me. This man makes me seem like James Earl Jones, everybody. It's Speech Impediment Man. Where'd you go? You were sitting there the whole time. What did you touch? Dude, you were perfect. Why didn't you touch anything?
Sorry. No.
What did you do? You sit there for 10 minutes, and now I put you on the air, and now you're fucking it all up. Jesus Christ, you have one job. You had to dude, you were so much better before.
I know. I'm sorry. Someone called on my phone.
Yeah, you're on the air. Come on.
It messed me up. Yeah, I'm
don't
sorry.
answer phone calls when you're on the air unless it's fucking Shirley or something. You had the lighting perfect. You had the camera angle perfect. You could see your T-shirt and your Superman shirt.
Well, here. How am I now?
Well, I'd stay away from the backlighting. That you're getting people freaking out. Stay away. Face the opposite of the light. You want that light on your face, not behind you. You got to see that handsome face. That's so much better, right there.
There you go.
Don't move it. Leave it there. Don't hold it with your hands.
Well, I got to.
Come on, bro. Put it on something. Put it up against a book or something.
Hold on.
Oh my
Hold
God.
on for a second.
You're killing me, buddy.
Okay.
Well, do you have a counter or something? I don't want you hunched over for the next hour. Sit down somewhere. You have a desk?
How's that?
I can. All you see is your crooked mouth. Sit back a little bit.
Right there.
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that right there.
Okay.
All right.
How you doing, Steve? It's great being on your show.
Everybody, the man that makes me seem like James Earl Jones, Speech Impediment Man. This is welcome to the dabbleverse. I had to give Speech a little. I made him do a little research on what's going on here, and he. I would have to say that you are. Would you call yourself a professional comedian?
I would call myself. I'm one step above a dabbler.
Okay. When are you one step above Stuttering John?
I believe I am. I mean, I've seen it act. To me, a comedian is like Shuley or me or Rodney Dangerfield. Someone who tells jokes and they have punchlines. Now, there's different types. There's comedians that write material, and there's comedians who just say funny stories. I don't know. I've always liked the type that had the punchline.
Okay, like Jackie the Joke Man, right?
Right, right,
So and
right.
now, have you been on? Wait, hold on. So I want to ask you a question. I know I have super tips, but this is going to be a light show. Not because you're here. I'm on a different time. Usually, there's a lot more traffic. Can Speech Impediment Man, what his thoughts on Granny having gay anal sex in Vegas? I don't know if he knows any about that. Yeah, I don't know if that Drunken Donuts. He's not
Uh,
he's not used to the dabbleverse, so he doesn't know. And I don't even know that answer.
Wait a minute. What is gay sex in Vegas with Granny?
Yeah, it's one of the people that have, I guess, that are involved in this drama on the Dabbleverse. They all have different funny names, and
Well,
no one uses their real name, and then they all are very involved in everything that goes on here. They're very educated. They know everything that's going on, and
well,
there was something they had a big convention here. It was called Hackamania.
heck,
Hackamania, and it was they had like maybe like 150 200 people here, and they filled the room and they all hate Stuttering John. Like
well,
literally,
I'm
like
glad
there
to
was a
see.
whole, like when you can pack a theater with people that hate you, that says a lot.
Right. I can.
He's I can't say that I feel bad because he's making money from doing this. I'm sorry,
True.
and he he's basically gotten into fights with every single person on here.
Yes.
He's friends and he's not friends. So can you see that happening? You've been
Well,
around him a lot.
yeah. I mean, he pisses people off. I mean, he's he's like Howard. He says he's not political, but he is political. And if you're against him, he hates you. Now, he's he's kind of two-faced. I mean, I've done comedy with people who said, "Oh yeah, John likes you. He would love to work with you." But then when I'd gone and saw John at the Laugh Factory in Las Vegas, he kind of blew me off. I mean, I don't know, and I think Dabbler is a good name. I mean, 'cause he is a dabbler. I mean, to tell the truth, I've seen his act, and he just tells stories about the Stern Show. I mean, you could go up there and do that. I mean, I could do that, but I mean, like I said, when I go to a comedy show, I'm like, I want to hear some jokes with like some punchline. I just don't want to hear stories and stuff. I mean, so yeah, dabbler's kind of a good word for John.
So ACDC 5150 says I met Speech Impediment Man at an Artie Lang New Year's Eve show in Philly. Fucking guy was wearing a Superman costume. Aren't you wearing that right now?
I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah. Well, you could see it before, but you moved your goddamn camera.
Well, you could see my shirt.
Oh, we got our first super tip here. So we're gonna do this. It takes me a second to get it through. I gotta send it over here, and then I gotta put this up over here, and then I gotta play it over here. So, oh wait, really? Are you single? Let's do a video call date. That's from uh, Pink Tulip. Sure, I would love to do that.
Yes, I'm single.
Like I'm not being set up by some Vince the lawyer type guy. It's very treacherous in this waters speech. It's there's people that I don't want to say they hide. They don't use the same name all the time, so they can be someone else. There's a lot of setup. People want to see you embarrassed and fail, and they want to watch you just rot, and they enjoy it. And I'm okay with all that because I'm not rotting at all. But stop moving your camera.
Well, I'm
People are
trying
gonna
to
freak
get
out on me, dude.
of that.
Good. That's good. Just don't stop moving it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, buddy.
Okay. I'm doing my best. Work with me. I'm a whack packer.
Yeah, I understand. So
I'm a
I've seen pictures of you back in the day. You used to play football. You're a big dude. But when you were playing football and stuff like that, were you one of like the better football players?
to tell the truth, I was crappy. I have a joke in my routine. I had a brilliant football career, but I had to quit for medical reasons. I was getting the shit kicked out of me. And literally, I was getting the shit kicked out of me. But I will tell you, I mean, sports taught me a lot. I mean, I'm still friends with a lot of guys. In fact, this morning, I was talking with a guy that was our starting running back. And I mean, after 30 or 40 years, I mean, no one remembers who started. No one cares. Just everyone knows you were on the team and we went through the same things and went to parties and all that stuff. Had fun.
Now, did you get picked on a lot in high school? Cause you're like, because there's nothing wrong with you, but you have a speech impediment, and people might,
Well,
try to
yeah.
like bust your balls about
I
that.
I always got picked on and stuff, and I got in a lot of fights and I got suspended. But after a while, you're like, I can't do this. I mean, I'm getting in fights all the time, and most of the time, a lot of the time, I ended up getting my ass whooped.
Yeah,
But
but you had
like
to
I,
protect yourself.
yeah, but like I say, like being in sport, football, especially really helped me out. Um, I like I was I was not the best football player. Ever see the movie Rudy?
Beach, I'm gonna tell you one more time, pal. You got to keep the camera steady.
Okay.
I'm getting yelled at by all these dabblers, bro. You gotta put it up against something. Do you have a counter or something like where your sink is, or now
How
sit
about
back,
that?
sit back a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
frame your face
Um.
in there.
Okay.
There you go.
Where were we at?
Well, about do people perceive you once they first meet you that you might be special or something, and then they realize that there's nothing wrong with you other than you have a
Well,
speech
yeah.
impediment?
Now that you talk about this, I'll tell you about this one time. I was out. This was after a football game, and I was at a football party with some of my friends, and one of my friends. Well, he wasn't my friend then. He was. I knew who he was, but he just goes to me. He goes, after talking to you, you're not as effed up as people say you are. You're actually a nice guy. And I kind of laughed at that. And ever since then, we became good friends. You're a good friend to mine. Me,
I feel the same way about you. You've always, ever since I met you, you've always been so
right.
kind and so sweet. And there are people in, say, the Wack Pack world that I always appreciated, like you and Fred the Elephant Boy and Crackhead Bob, who were
What,
genuinely nice people that had something
yeah.
that was tough for them growing up and being having a disability. And yours not even a disability, but Crackhead Bob's was a disability, but that was because he fucked up.
Now, there were guys in the whack pack like Hypoteric and Jeff the Drunk and I've been out with them, and they're like always hostile to the fans, and yelling at him and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? These are your fans. I mean, they help make you famous and stuff, and you're being kind of a dick to them and stuff.
Yeah, hold
But
on 1 second, buddy. Okay, I got a super tip here from Beef McLarge Beef. I was on the Howard Stern show. I see it doesn't open as many doors in 2026. I'm not sure what that means, but it's a super tip. I'm sorry. I still haven't. I have to go over and when I
no,
do a super
that's
tip.
fine.
Could you
I
hear me when
think
I say that? You could hear that.
yes, I think what he means about that is yeah, like when we were on it, it opens the door, but it'll let you in, but then you got to do something with it afterward.
Well,
Like what that last comment said, I guess I take it as he was on the show and he just thought right away he would be famous. No, I mean, people know you now, but what you do with it afterwards is up to you.
that's 100% true. A lot of people appreciate you coming on here today. Let's see. This man, this stuttering Dan Fogel 711. All these ex Stern guys are trying to do their own show. Constantly think Howard made this look easy. The guy earned his money. Not sure. Do you know if Jeff the Drunk is still alive? ACDC wants to know.
You know, I have no idea. Um,
Oh,
I I know Fred passed away. I'm very
yeah.
sorry.
Fred was such a. I felt. He was so sweet, and he was actually. Anytime I
Yeah.
called him, he was always nice. He did my show when I had the studio in Times Square, and he was. Yeah, I heard just like horror stories about his household growing up. That I think his mom, might have been on the spectrum. Had him and his brother. She really didn't know. I don't know how to raise children, and I guess they had issues that had to be addressed. I remember people that lived in his neighborhood that used to call up and say how they used to get abused and everything, and the mom was always abusing them, and that she made him and his brother take baths until they were like in their teens together.
Ooh,
So
wow.
we got
I
someone that likes to
don't
bank on Frank Rizzo. Good to see you, Speech. People love you, buddy.
Thanks, thanks. I'm still around. I'm doing some comedy.
Well, you just played the
Um,
Laugh Factory. That's pretty goddamn huge,
yeah,
no?
I just played Laugh Factory. Um, I'm doing what I can. I'm getting older. Uh, I got knee problems, but I do what I can. Um, in fact, today I collected my first Social Security check.
Oh, we going out
I'm
drinking?
getting, uh,
We going out drinking? So apparently
uh,
Jeff the Drunk is alive, and he's sober. Apparently,
really,
yeah.
really. Okay,
Well, I
well,
want to just I'm going to address a couple of things right here. So the guy that just gave me the super tip beef McLarge beef says I have a vol brain, but if I wish I understood what you were talking about. I was on the Howard Stern show. I see it doesn't open many doors in 2026. No, it does open doors, but it doesn't really do much. Do you think that being on the Howard Stern show opened up doors to your speech?
well, it opened up doors to where, like, I could go to the comedy store and Laugh Factory, and people know who I am. It helped me do some shows. Shuley helped me out.
Yeah, Shuli
Uh,
loves you, bro.
yes, I did shows with them in Orlando, all over the place. So yeah, it still helps out, and yeah, I could still go to clubs and people know who I am and stuff. I mean, that's always good. So in that case, it does open doors.
Reverend Rage wants to. He said speech impediment. Excuse me, speech impediment. Yeah, I got the speech impediment now. Speech impediment man is twice the comedian as Shuli.
What? you know, Shuley is my buddy. I'm not going to talk bad about him. I remember he used to run an open mic in Las Vegas at Honest John's. And the first time I walked in, I told him who I was, and he goes, "Yeah, I know who you are. Go to the bar, and I'll put you up in about 10 minutes." So I go to the bar, and I go to the bartender, "Give me a beer," and the bartender goes, "I can't serve you. You're already drunk." And I look down at the end of the bar, and Shuley is laughing. And he walked over and said, "No, he's part of the show. Uh, give him a beer." But Shuley's helped me out a lot. We've done shows at the Comedy Store in San Diego, uh, all over Chicago, LA, Orlando,
Yeah.
Cincinnati,
Do you have that
just
problem a
everywhere.
lot? Like if you go to the bar and order the drink and you don't get served because people think you're drunk?
Yeah, I do. In fact, I mean, uh, I don't anymore, but when I was younger, like whenever I'd get pulled over, I mean,
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
cop, cop, cops are saying, "Well, how much have you drank?" Yeah, I go, I haven't drank," and they go, "No, I can tell you're drunk from your speech." But you know how you could really tell if they shine a flashlight in your eyes and your pupils are dilated, then you're drunk and stuff.
Now,
But
do you have like a card that explains like a medical card that you can give to an officer? I can see how maybe an officer might think you might be slurring your words. And is there a specific medical condition that you have that goes along?
well, I I've been seeing a neurologist. Uh, I had an MRI and the back of my brain is underdeveloped. And when I was younger, uh, my mom got in a car accident and my head hit the dashboard, and I was in the hospital for a couple days. Um, so I do have some neurological problems going on.
Well, can they
But
give
I
you
mean,
can they give you a medical card that so when you get pulled over, they're like, oh, okay, which
no,
gives you a reason to go get drunk anyway.
no, I don't have a card. In fact, that's a good idea. Next time I see my doctor, in fact, I got an appointment next week. I'll ask him for a card, but I've kind of stopped drinking just because of that. I mean, when I lived in Tennessee, yes, I got pulled over a lot of times
Well,
by cops. They thought I was drunk and stuff.
ACDC says you could make you could be a millionaire suing police departments.
You know, you could have a point there. I
They,
need to look into that. I just, yeah, I don't have a card. I just kind of, uh, uh, well, what happened? What helps is I tell them that I'm speech impediment man from the Howard Stern
so
show.
that could help. Chorus
Yeah,
line. This guy's awful. He says speech impediment. Is it true that because you suck so hard on wieners, you actually squished your brain?
that
And
you know. I mean, I used to get pissed off at comments like that, but now I just kind of laugh because I mean, they're not really worth my time worrying
No, I just
about.
wanted to show you the severity of the meanness that goes on.
Oh yeah, I know
But
there
it
is.
is
I
kind of,
mean,
obviously it's not true, so you can laugh at it.
well, even when I was on the show, I mean, uh, most hardcore fans like me, but there's always guys that are casual fans that are gonna say crap about you and stuff. It comes with the territory. You just gotta kind of roll with it.
Okay, I got one super tip. Hold on, okay?
Okay.
See, I need someone to do this for me. So anonymous, it's not a setup. I'm a big fan from the UK. Hashtag squirt. Squirt away. You ever been with a squirter?
I will tell you a story. This was in my early 20s. There was a place called the Loose Moose where me and my friends used to hang out with. And I went there one night and it was at 2 o'clock and I picked up this one girl, she was kind of a heifer, and took her home and I'm on my bed and I get one finger in and then two and then three and then I'm fisting her and I pulled it out and it's like a geyser coming out of
Okay.
it.
I,
And it
I didn't think it was gonna
got
get that
the
graphic. I don't want to get too crazy on YouTube. I didn't
okay.
expect that answer from your speech. That was great.
I sometimes I think back. I go, I've had some experiences, and definitely meeting you and being on Howard was one of them. It's opened a door to my life.
How did you get on Howard? What was like? How did that happen?
Well, I used to listen to Mark and Brian out here. And I remember I had a roommate, and he goes, "Hey, you got to listen to this guy Stern. He's coming out here. He's kind of a dick, but you'll probably like him." And I started listening, and I liked him. And then Howard was coming to L.A. for his Miss America tour, and I went there and I wore my shirt and I took him a copy of my comedy and told him I wanted to be a comedian and stuff. And we talked for about 2 minutes and he goes, "Okay, I gotta finish in this line, but we'll be in touch." And then I started calling into the show. And then one day, Gary, the producer, called me up and invited me back to New York to be on the show. This was Halloween of 1996. Lou Ferrigno was on that episode too.
Who also has a
And
small? He's got a hearing issue. He almost has a speech impediment as well.
yes, yes. Um, and eh, yes, it was a big highlight. I could remember walk, walking that. Well, I could remember Danny interviewing me in the green room, and that was fun. And then I could remember Gary taking me down the hallway to get in the studio, and I could just remember when the doors open. I mean, the lights come out, and I'm sitting there with Howard, Jackie, Fred, and Robin, and it was just a, a highlight of my in my life. I mean, I'm always gonna remember it.
Yeah, that's something that I kind of remember the same thing. First time, like I walked in the radio station, and the first time I was on the air, it was something that sticks in your brain. You can never get it out. You know, somebody
Right.
drunken donut says now your new name is Two Finger Speech.
Okay, I'll go for that.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh
go for
man.
that.
So, was Yucko the clown around the same time as you?
Yeah, Yucca was. In fact, well, I liked Yucca. We did some shows together in Indianapolis and Louisville, um, and in Vegas. In fact, I remember we were in Vegas, and uh, who Tabitha Stevens got us a bus to go to the strip club, and we're going to the strip club, and I remember there's a guy sitting in front of me, and I go to my buddy Shuli. I go, "Who's that guy?" And he goes, "Oh, that's Yucko." And I go, God, I mean, I just remember Yucko when he had his costume on and he's wild and crazy. But I mean, he's totally different when he's not in costume and makeup. He's very quiet and shy. He's a good guy. Um, I remember we did a show in Indianapolis. This is when he was briefly married. And I don't know. I just always thought that Yucko and his wife were not a good match. That girl
I
was,
kind of knew her. Like,
yeah.
first of all, I didn't know Yucko's name was Roger Black, and I was going back and forth with him on Facebook when he was on, and he was really nice, and I was just fine. And then finally, I would say after probably like 2 months of like just being nice to him and being going back and forth, he goes, "It's Yucko, you fucking idiot." So I was very happy for him when his Comedy Central cartoon took off, and
Brickenberry.
Brickleberry. And when I was in LA, he gave me a tour of the offices and shit. And then all of a sudden, he just Brickleberry. That's right. He he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I haven't seen anything about him.
Right. Yes, he does that. I mean, he just disappeared. But lately, I've been seeing little things on Facebook about his past damn show episodes. So I mean, I don't know if he's working on a new cartoon or what,
So yeah,
but
here this is there's a third one now, same animation style as the other two. I hope so. I liked him. It was nice that he gave me a tour. I got a nice super tip here for you, buddy. Hold on, this is for you.
okay.
I got to fix this whole setup here, but I apologize. It's no big deal to me. So, but all right, Oscar Electric the second. Jeffrey, you were great on the Howard Stern show. Thank you for the laughs. That's from Oscar Electric too.
Sure. I love being on it. I love the spontaneity of it. I will say, I mean, like when I first started, you're kind of shy, but then Howard had the way of drawing things out of you and stuff, and the more you talk, you feel comfortable. It's like you're talking to your buddies. But I had a good time, and in fact, I could remember I worked in when I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. I used to get off at 3:30, and by the time I get home, it was like 4:30, and I would hang out on my computer for about an hour till the Stern Show started. And what I miss is back then you still can message, but I mean back then you could put it on your screen where you could talk to multiple people at the same time, and it was like the Stern family. We were all a big family. Like I would talk to Jesse from San Diego a lot. Um, I would talk to my friend Bald, who lived Bald from Elwood, who lived in Pennsylvania. It was just great. I had friends all over, and I remember I used to drive up to Louisville for comedy shows, and I would always stop at this one truck stop to gas up. And truckers, they love Howard, and like whenever I would talk to them, they'd go, "Wait a minute, I know you,"
Yeah. So
and we would talk
I
about
got
his
another. I got
thing.
another super tap for you. 1 second, okay?
Okay.
God, I wish I was a lefty. On. Hey, buddy, how much are you convening? How much of a convening Weasley douchebag was Shuley to you behind the scenes? Well, I don't have any problems with Shuley.
I no, I always liked Shuley. He's helped me out. Uh, he even yeah, he would help me on some joke stories. He would say, "Well, maybe you should word it this way," and you get a big laugh. Maybe you should do a tag phrase, add this on it. Uh, he would he's lived all over. In fact, like he would give me a name of people I should seek out for comedy shows and stuff. But yeah, I never had any problem with
So
shooting.
there's a couple of things that we have to get on. Voltaire is someone that's always on the show, and I always try to get some of their comments up on here. And I guess did you know that John is suing Shuley, and he's got him really tied up in courts. There's a lot of big drama going on there, and Voltaire is addressing revenge rage. Discovery is one of the hardest parts of litigating a lawsuit. How on earth can these inept lawyers handle that? There's some big drama going on with John and Shuley right now, and there's I can't comment on it because I really don't know all the information. It would be
Well,
liable, but he's they've been going back and forth pretty hard at each other for the past couple of years, and it's gotten to the point where it's definitely crossed the line. I think it's like there's family involved. I don't like getting families involved, and like somebody said this, and then they just keep taking it to the next level, and now it's all tied up in court. And these people are spending like lots of. It's a lot of their speech. They're spending a lot of money on lawyers.
yeah, I to tell you the truth, I've listened to Shuley's show, Uncle Rico. He does it with Bob Levy and this guy Perry, who was in Big Windy City Heat. Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla produced it. And when I started in comedy, I took some comedy classes, and Perry was in it with me too. Um, yeah, in fact, they just did a western. Now, I'm not really up to date with this law case. I try and stay out of it. I know Shuley doing a podcast, Uncle Rico.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't been a guest on there yet. You should.
Yeah, well, I listen sometimes. Well, yeah, can I tell
I
you?
gotta. I'm sorry, speech. There's a lot of. I don't know if you could see the comments, but there's a lot of things going on talking about nice things, bad things. Revenge rage. It's not revenge. It's reverend. I am a holy man. Bless you, brother. Bless everyone here. I hope the best, everybody. I hope the best for everybody, and have a great day. That's every once in a while you get a nice person. But
Well, good deal.
there's a lot of things going on in this drama. It's sort of like picture like Days of Our Lives. People are just constantly chatting
Wh-
quotes and knowing each other's
Well,
business or finding each other's
yeah.
business. Stuttering John sent him beer sales, knowing that the community doesn't trust him. That Voltaire, I'm starting to understand. There's so much. So John has a friend out. I was up until last week. I was still friends with John. After after years of him talking to me, not talking to me, he's mad at me. Whatever. And so the past, like I would say, like maybe 5, 6 months, probably almost a year since Schiller Theater, that when my book came out, we had a little kind of a reconciliation, but now that I'm out here doing my show and he's doing my show, I I knew it was inevitable until at one point where he's just going to break, and he did. So I've been on his radar for the past, I guess, week or so, where he's just going on for hours, just saying horrible things about me. I'm not going to say anything like that. I'm just going to tell the truth.
Right.
So
Well,
he has a friend that he has out here that John that they call him beer sales Jerry or something. John was very insistent that I become friends with this guy. He's a great guy, and I don't know too many people out here. You know what I'm saying? I have a couple of friends, but they have nothing to do with anything that I'm doing, and nor do they want to. And I basically I needed help with something, and I asked John's friend, but they're saying that John specifically pushed the guy on me to watch what I'm doing. So I don't know what that's about. But
well,
there are specific people that are here, definitely they're like John's minions that are just trying to get to me when it's just not going to work.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I haven't spoken to John for years. I just kind of, like I say, I always thought he was kind of two faced. I mean, you, when I saw him at Laugh Factory in Vegas, he kind of blew me off, acted like he didn't know who I was and stuff. And I mean, I was like, come on, John, we did some comedy before. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like people like that are two faced. I don't know. But as far as uh, Shuley and their lawsuit, I mean, I gotta stick with my buddy Shuley there, even though I don't know the Pacific, just knowing that I think John could be kind of a dick.
well, got another super tip. Well, here's something that I can't really uh, understand because I'm not a big fan of shit like this, but. But people are paying me anonymous. Shuli's producer is in jail for child porn. I heard
Really?
about that. So it's kind of weird because it's when I first started. I don't know if it's the same guy. I got to be honest. I got to find out. When I first started doing my show in Times Square, when we had basically it was called Pro Media, and my friend had basically he was doing editing, and he had a production team and everything, and he had some extra space in his studio, and this is where this guy was sort of at the very beginning of podcasts when it started to get bigger and bigger. Before they started putting cameras in the studio, this guy was working out of Pro Media, and he was doing the podcast shit. That's where I started doing my podcast, and then we had cameras. The guy that was in charge of the whole podcast thing, he went to jail for the same thing. He had nothing to do with me. He just had an office where I was doing my podcast, and I'm wondering if it's the same guy, because that guy was like I didn't really know him, and
Is it?
he didn't like me because it was my friend's studio, and my friend was funding it, and every time I went on, I took time away from him or someone else, one of his friends going on. Then all of a sudden, the guy wasn't there anymore, and then it turns out he went to jail for that. So I don't know if there's any connection between those guys, but yeah, that's just not cool. But if Shuli, I can't imagine that Shuli was aware of it. And if you are involved in something like that, it's not like you're going around telling all your friends,
Right. Well, I used to do a podcast, the Ganyo podcast, with hypotheric and medicated Pete, and we had a couple other interesting people. But yeah, the producer ended up going to jail. He stole some money from what was it? Music video. He stole like 400,000. I don't know how, but he got thrown in jail. I mean, somehow, I mean, there's a lot of
Speech. I'm gonna give you do me a favor. If you can stand up with your camera, I'm gonna take you down for a second. I'll bring you back up. Find a good spot where people could see your shirt, but people want to see that. So I'm just gonna move you down. Just get a good position. I'll put you right back up. So Urban Rage, you know he's good. There's a lot of drama coming on. I wanted to see what was going on with these angry people. We demand justice. Voltaire, I know Jerry. I think he's a good guy. The only thing he did wrong was take a picture of a guy named Cardiff Electric in this place, and that's not bad. Look, I told him that I can't have this kind of heat on me because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get involved in this shit. This isn't my fight. All I know is John told me he was a nice guy, and I asked him to help me out, and now all of a sudden I'm on the crosshairs, and I had to just politely say I can't be involved with this. If it has to do with doxing, I don't want anything to do with it. Grammar police, So anyway, speech. See now you look much better there. Just hold it steady, if you can. I'm not trying to be mean. I just you had it so good in the beginning.
it seems that every time I get it good, someone calls on my
Well,
phone.
turn it off. Don't
Oh,
answer.
well, true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
so much better right now. But if you could just keep it a little steady.
I don't know. It seems that podcasting seems to attract the criminal element.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. What do you think?
it's real easy to be a tough guy behind a fake name and a computer.
True.
So
True.
it's
But
they're desktop bullies.
but I will say, I mean, ever since
I got
I'm
it. It said it's shit. It's better, Shaky. It makes more sense.
oh hey, take it up, baby. But
You got
ever
any? You got
since
any gigs coming up, buddy?
uh, I got a gig, there's a place called Spoons here out in Santa Ana. I got a big show coming up July 9th. I'm selling tickets. Uh, in yeah, Joey Mendez is gonna be there. Jerry Garcia.
They're
Uh,
digging him up.
yeah, a lot of local comedians. Like yeah, I mean, ever since I've been on Howard in '96, this big comedy scene has been a plus in my life. I met you. I met Kato Kalin. I met a lot of people. I got a lot of stories for when I get older. In fact, some people say maybe I should write a book. What do you think about this title? I was going to say, I was a delisted Wack Packer.
No, I'll help you with a title. That won't work because no one knows what that is. Yeah.
Well, this is true. I was going to ask you for some help. I've been reading your book, and it's really wild. And just some of the stories that you have told me behind the scenes were wild. And Shuli has told me some stories. And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm totally on the end, but I do know some stories and things that went on. And just Howard used to go to Vegas every year, and those were good times. And in fact, I still go to Vegas, and people know me out there, and yeah.
Everybody loves you, Speech, and I love you very much, and I really appreciate you coming on today.
Well, no problem. I'm
And stay in
glad
touch.
that
Like, you don't ever be afraid to call, man. I'm around.
no problem.
All right,
Uh,
pal.
okay.
I'll see you, man.
Talk to you later. Yeah.
So there you have it, everybody. Speech Impediment Man doesn't think John's a comedian. He just tells stories. He says that Julie is a comedian. And I know that's a big debate amongst you people out there. I can't allow anything. I'm running too many things. I see what that guy's doing. So it's I don't get this push talk, open chat. Here we go. Disable cam. Okay. Yeah, all right. So yeah, no, there's one guy on here that just does racist shit, and if anybody, if I would love to have a moderator that would be able to take him off, that would be great. But I can't do all this myself. But yeah, things are getting heated. I want to thanks everybody for coming on, all the super tips that came through. I want to thank Speech Impediment Man and. Yeah, okay. So I wish I could block you, but I'm not going to because this is an open forum. Anyway, thanks very much for coming on. Just a little hour today. Working on getting some other guests going. So I will be back tomorrow. What time? I will let you know. But other than that, peace out and have a great day.